what happens at a home inspection and what to look for when you're at a home inspection. My name is Hani Faraj with Remax Crest, and today I want to talk about all the things that you need to know when you're doing a home inspection. So I've been doing this for 12 years, and I've probably done hundreds and hundreds of home inspections, and can talk a little bit about first of all, when you should order a home inspection. So, at least in British Columbia, when you have an offer, when you make an offer, it has a bunch of subjects. Also in the States, they call them contingencies. So these are things that you need to satisfy. It could be financing, title, property disclosure statement, strata documents. It could be insurance quote, reviewing, other things on the property, things like that, and financing, obviously. So once the bank, you've read this, while the file is being sent to the bank and getting approved by an underwriter, usually the realtor and the client will read the strata documents, summarize them, make sure there's no red flags, there's no upcoming levies or whatever. And then what you want to do is then you once everything's okay and everybody's happy and the client's happy, then the last thing you do is you order a inspection report. At the inspection report, I usually show up. I don't want to judge anybody, but some people don't show up at all, buyers or selling agents. I like to show up because I want to see with my own two eyes what it is that, the inspector is finding, if there's major stuff or whatever. And I usually tell clients this. It's like, look, an inspector, his job is to inspect and to find things that are wrong. Like, I really feel bad for the spouses of inspectors, to be honest with you, because these are really critical, detail-oriented people, and they literally go into every nook and cranny and they find things that are wrong with the property. Ideally, what you're wanting to do is find major things, not like wear and tear, little things that sometimes break and, they need to be updated or whatever. So if you're in a house, they're inspecting the roof, the windows, are inspecting any leaks, they're looking for moisture, they're looking for things like that. If they're in the bathroom, they're looking for the latest and the greatest, let's say hoses, things like that, making sure that everything's up to code, things to that nature. Some of the inspectors, they will inspect appliances, even though it's not part of their it's not part of their business, believe it or not, so that's okay. But the truth is, it's a pretty comprehensive stage. I one time had a lady who bought a couple of years ago with me, and it was a newer polygon build. It was not brand new, but it was a newer polygon build, and she forgone like her inspection, and it literally, she ended up going on a cruise, came back, her house was flooded. Terrible idea. For $500, she should have paid for it. I highly encouraged her to do it, but she wanted to save a couple $100, and it, let me tell you, negatively impacted her and whatnot. Okay, so that's what an inspector does. What we're looking for, just to be clear, we're looking for major components. We're looking for things that are major, that are happening. And I'll give you an example. Okay, one time I was looking at a condo which had a balcony, and at some point, this balcony was enclosed. Now, it was kind of weird that they did that, but what the strata had deemed is not, because it is now enclosed, it is the responsibility of the strata owner. Well, when we inspected it, we found that there's moisture all around this balcony and on the inside of the balcony as well. So, there's like a little sliding door, even though it's enclosed, whatever, there's all this different wetness and whatever, which would have been the responsibility of the strata owner. And it would have been probably a major envelope work and whatnot. So we stayed away from it because it would have been another $100,000. We bought a better building that went up so much. Like, it went up almost double the time the guys owned it. It's a really luxury building in Vancouver. Okay, but that's the kind of stuff that we look for, and that's why you do an inspection and also read the strata docs. And then once you're done the inspection, the last thing you want to do is you get the deposit, the bank draft for the deposit, only if you're happy with the inspection results. I've had people that just give it to me right at the inspection because they've already decided they're going to buy it, which is beautiful. But the truth is, like, I wouldn't usually, if it's a problematic property, if it's older or whatever, then I usually don't do it. Okay. Now, I do want to say one thing. Strata inspections and home inspections are completely two different things. a house has way more things that need to be checked versus in a strata, in a condo or a townhouse. The inspector only checks that unit. It could be 5, 7, 8, 900 square feet. Townhouse maybe 15, 20, maybe 2,000 square feet, something like that. But in a house, well, there's a lot more. They go outside, they check everything, the drainage, they check the foundation, they check everything, the eavesdrop system. There's a lot more components when you're in a house than you do in a condo. And obviously in a condo, you have a strata council and you have a strata association. And the beautiful thing about that is that those people, they're responsible. That's why you pay a strata fee. So again, it's a lot simpler in a condo and or a townhouse versus a detached house. Okay, so if you have any questions, I hope, again, this is not as comprehensive at all. Obviously, when you're in an inspection, it's 2-3 hours. So they check everything, hot water tank, everything systems wise. So if you are unsure about what an inspection entails and you have questions about it, please feel free to contact me. My name is Hani Faraj with Remax Crest. I'd love to be your guide for your next purchase. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.